Hi, this is Dara. How are you doing? I'm just going to explain a little bit about the guitar in terms of the anatomy of the guitar and how it's put together and what the main parts of the guitar are. One of my students recently was asking me, there's a lot of kind of different terminologies that maybe a beginner might not be familiar with, or even if you have been playing the guitar for a while, you might not be. So I'll just run through those. What I've got here is a flat top acoustic guitar, steel string guitar. It's made up of three parts. Most acoustic guitars pretty much follow this format. You have a headstock, a neck, and a body. The headstock typically might have an inlay here that if it's made by a company itself, that the manufacturer might have their logo or their name inlaid into the headstock. The headstock also, and more importantly probably, has the machine heads or tuning heads, which allow the player then to be able to tune the guitar, tighten strings, loosen the strings here at the top. The next part is the neck. The neck, three main parts. The fretboard is attached to the neck. In this case it's an ebony fretboard. Usually it's ebony or rosewood. Attached to the neck itself. Then inlaid onto the fretboard is a series of frets which allow you to pick out the individual notes on the guitar. And at the back, this part of the neck is called the heel, and that's essentially the joint that attaches it to the guitar body, which is characterized by three parts as well. You have the upper bout, the lower bout, and the waist here in the middle. Naturally enough, people obviously know what the sound hole here is. Ironically, it is not the part that brings most of the sound out. That usually is the majority of that comes off the soundboard itself, which is across the front of the guitar. So around the sound hole itself is a rosette. This one's got a little mother of pearl inlay. Classical guitars tend to have maybe a more ornate one here. Where the strings attached to the body, this piece is called the saddle, and on the saddle you have the bridge, and then the pins, which then attach usually a kind of a ball joint type of string in here. It's a little bit different on classical guitars, and that's essentially it. I think one of the items that people might not always kind of be aware of is that when you play the guitar, what you're really doing is you're transferring the physical energy from your hand or arm with your finger picking or strumming into the strings, which vibrate, which go over the bridge, and it's that energy which goes through the bridge and then is kind of dissipated out by the saddle and then onto the soundboard itself. And there's a bit of help on the inside. You can't see this, but there's a series of braces, of struts on the inside of the soundboard itself, which kind of dissipate the sound in different ways. And there's a whole art and science around characteristic tones of a guitar that can be maybe modified by different types of designs as well. But that's the overall construction of an acoustic guitar. Headstock, neck, body, and all the other pieces. Don't think I've missed anything. There you go.